In the shadowed stretches of the wild, where the golden sun scatters its last rays among the thickets, a haunting scene unfolds. A leopard, majestic and fierce, now a living canvas of horror. Its sleek coat is marred grotesquely by a revolting hive of parasitic cocoons, grotesque nests protruding like twisted sculptures of pain and decay. What once was a symbol of raw power and stealth has transformed into a macabre testament to nature's darkest intricacies. The wounds are festering mosaics of flesh and parasite, each cavity a sinister chamber harboring relentless, unsettling life. This is no ordinary injury. It is an infestation so invasive and insidious that it transcends the realm of simple biological decay and plunges us into a visceral nightmare. The parasites responsible for this terrifying cocoon hive are a particular species of larval insects, specially adapted to use the leopard's body as an incubator. Female parasites hatch their eggs onto the exposed flesh of the host, often targeting weakened or wounded areas. Upon emerging, the larvae burrow under the skin, feeding on the host tissue and blood in a disturbingly efficient parasitic symbiosis. As the larvae mature, they spin silk-like cocoons inside pockets of the wound, tightly woven fortresses where they metamorphose, protected from external threats, but devastatingly destructive to the leopard's health. The infected areas swell, the skin breaks, and tears, oozing a toxic brew of fluids that nourish the parasites, but torment the animal with relentless pain and infection. This parasitic cocoon infestation represents a grotesque, invasive life cycle, a dark ballet of survival at the expense of the host. The leopards, usually solitary hunters with a keen sense of their surroundings, become ensnared in this biological trap with little way out. The cocoons cut off movement, drain vitality, and allow secondary infections to take. In the frigid, murky waters, where the white whale roams, a grotesque spectacle unfolds beneath the serene surface, an unsettling saga of survival and decay. Here, in the vast blue silence, a colossal creature drifts, marked not just by its gleaming pale skin, but by a horrifying testament to its ongoing battle with nature's relentless parasites, a horrific clam's wound, festering and pulsating with life, both alien and repugnant. This wound is no mere injury. It is a grotesque canvas smeared with the grim artistry of clam infestation, a chilling reminder of the microscopic horrors that thrive in symbiosis with suffering. Clam infestation on a white whale is a macabre phenomenon, an invasion where tiny, unyielding bivalves anchor into the whale's flesh. These clams, far from the picturesque image of barnacle-encrusted sea creatures, burrow abrasively into the soft tissue, creating lesions that ooze with putrid fluids and invite swarms of bacteria and other microorganisms to feast on the necrotic flesh. The damage sees the whale's skin split and scarred, resembling a nightmarish patchwork of peeling, bleeding wounds. The clams latch in clusters, their shells rimmed with barnacles, forming an unwelcome, jagged armor of parasitic decay. This infestation doesn't simply irritate. It gnaws into muscle and marrow, sapping the whale's strength and leaving it vulnerable in the ruthless ocean. This symbiotic horror reveals a dark twist in the tapestry of life beneath the wave. In the shadowed heart of the jungle, where sunlight barely pierces the dense canopy, a jaguar prowls silently, its coat once a dazzling riddle of gold and black now marred by a nightmare. This is no ordinary predator. It wears a gruesome shroud of parasitic cocoons, grotesque bulges pulsating grotesquely beneath its fur, each one a tomb for an unwelcome tenant. To witness this living sculpture of decay is to confront a raw and repulsive truth. Nature's beauty can be a stage for horrific infestation, a dark ballet where life and death entwine in unsettling intimacy. The creature moves with a haunted grace, muscles tense beneath layers of filmy sacs that glisten wetly, throbbing with life yet promising only agony. It is a vision as compelling as it is repellent, an animal caught in the merciless grip of parasitism, where survival is a battle against invasion at its most primal and revolting. Beneath the jaguar's ferocious exterior lies an unseen war. The parasites, tiny larvae, barely visible to the human eye, have laid siege to its skin, burrowing deep into the flesh and anchoring themselves into a permanent, sinister nursery. These larvae are the embryonic stage of blood-sucking flies, creatures adapted to exploit their hosts with chilling efficiency. Once inside, they secrete enzymes that dissolve soft tissues, consuming the jaguar's flesh with a vile hunger that keeps their incubating bodies fed and alive. The parasite's cocoons, swollen and slick, look like clusters of grotesque fruit, but each is a living, breathing factory of decay. When disturbed or threatened, the fluid inside ripples, hinting at the wriggling horror in the heart of the rugged mountains, where the snow seems eternal and the air crackles with a chilling silence. A haunting sight emerges, a snow leopard, majestic yet marred. Its fur, once a pristine canvas of soft grays and whites, now bears the unmistakable mark of survival against an unseen foe. Here lies a creature plagued not merely by the harshness of its environment, but by a parasitic flower grotesquely embedded into its flesh. This flower, known as the corpse lily, is the malevolent mastermind of this tragedy, stealing life from its host, spreading its twisted tendrils deep into the snow leopard's skin, creating a wound so horrific it stirs both fascination and revulsion. The leopard limps through its territory, embodying the grim balance of life and death, a predator, now a victim, in a deadly dance with nature's more sinister designs. But the ghastly tale does not end here. Our unfortunate feline also contends with another grotesque in the shadowed realms of the wild, where survival is etched into the very bones of existence. A stark and disturbing spectacle unfolds. Here, beneath the leafy canopies, and within the dense thickets, a lone leopard moves with a limp, its graceful stealth betrayed by a grotesque malignancy adorning its flank. This is no ordinary wound. It is a horrific cocoon, a macabre cradle formed by parasitic invaders, whose life cycle has entwined itself grotesquely with the flesh of this majestic predator. What you are about to witness is the dark underbelly of nature's relentless struggle, a parasitic infestation so viscerally repellent that it evokes both horror and a grudging scientific fascination. The leopard's wound is a living tapestry of decay, an invasion, a festering monument to a parasitic puppeteer's cruel jigsaw. The cocoon itself is a balloon sac of hardened silk-like fibers, tightly woven but irregular, bursting with swelling lumps beneath its fibrous exterior. This structure is the work of botfly larvae, sinister architects hiding beneath the leopard's skin, feeding voraciously on its living tissues. These larvae have burrowed deep and ensnared the tissue in their web prison, transforming a once vibrant muscle into a rotting chamber lined with their own excrement and waste. Around the edges, the skin is reddened and swollen, infected with secondary bacteria, oozing a pungent mix of pus and serous fluid, a grotesque cocktail of biological warfare. Delving deeper, the parasite cocoon infestation is a baroque horror play. The botfly lays its eggs on the leopard's fur, waiting for a vector, usually a passing insect, or the leopard's own scratching, to transport them onto the skin. When the eggs hatch, tiny larvae use their hooked mouths and spiny bodies to penetrate the skin with stealthy brutality. Inside this warm, dark haven, the larvae feed on the fluid and tissue of their host, inflating the wound and coaxing the leopard's body to grow the cocoon around them as a sort of protective capsule. This in the heart of the shadowed savanna, where the sun's unforgiving glare touches the land like a relentless judge. A spectacle both rare and grotesque unfolds. Here lies a black lion, a majestic beast cloaked in midnight fur, a living embodiment of the wild's silent power and mystery. But beneath this regal gaze, a nightmarish tableau reveals itself, a massive wound, festering and swollen, encased in dense, clammy cocoons pulsating with grim vitality. This dark horror is not a mere injury, but a vivid narrative of parasitic invasion, a plague claiming dominion over the lion's flesh, turning it into an unsettling habitat for uninvited tenants. The wound, gaping and horrid, is a hellscape of decay and life intertwined, thick, leathery skin ruptured, exuding an ooze that glistens like morbid nectar under the sun. Around the edges, clusters of silken cocoons cling, their surfaces writhing imperceptibly with the squirming larvae inside. These cocoons are the sinister homes of parasitic insects, relentless in their reproductive gusto. Flies have laid their eggs beneath the lion's surface, their larvae burrowing deeply into the flesh, gnawing and feasting with ceaseless hunger. The lion's very skin has become a nursery, a grotesque incubator where parasites grow fat at the expense of its host's vitality. Each tiny invader is a marvel of unspeakable efficiency, maggots engineered by nature to survive in rotten flesh. Thriving in the warmth and moisture of the wound, they produce enzymes that liquefy tissue, creating a feast. The wound's edges are inflamed, reddish purple, pulsing with a jugular rhythm. An eerie